Yeah.
Record. So if you get your little notification, you agree to be on television here with our superstardom team. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our March team meeting. My name is Kevin Duffy. I am an independent consultant and an area manager with Arbonne International. We have the privilege and the honor of sharing our time and having her share her time with us, the wonderful Eunice Ray, ENVP, right, Eunice? Executive National Vice President. She is one of our favorite people in the business, and we are so lucky to have her kind of share some insight. She's a whippersnapper. She's a businesswoman. She's a stand-up comedian that she doesn't know about. She's full of life and energy and smarts. So we're going to get some things out of her tonight. She's going to talk about network marketing in the digital age, touch upon a little bit of artificial intelligence, where we are, how we got here, and where we're headed in the future in terms of how we think, how we behave, how we learn, and how we do business, and how this, here we are digitally sharing from all across different states, counties, countries in the digital world, and what that landscape looks like for us going forward. So we're here also to learn a little bit about our Arbonne opportunity. So we're going to, what does Arbonne do? We have the ability to empower other people by helping them start their own healthy living journey. And for some people, they get to start a new business, right? We follow a strict ingredient policy. What is Arbonne? Why are we all here? We have a strict, clean ingredient, safe formulation with nutrition, skincare, body care, makeup products. We embrace the connection between a healthy mind, a stronger body, and a more beautiful skin and spirit. We look to focus on the inside and out. We have a wonderful founder who started this organization. And just to kind of lead into where I know Eunice is going to go, social businesses are growing. More people use social media today to stay informed, to learn, to find solutions for business, for work, for family, for products. 92% of consumers trust recommendations from people that they know. A few quick facts. Most people in the US live paycheck to paycheck, and they don't have a couple $100s to afford a family emergency. Global wellness is booming, something we've definitely touched upon and have seen more so in the last 2 years, I think, than any time in our lives. This has been certainly a wake-up call to all of us to really look inside to ourselves and learn about what we can do better. I know this is a really forward-thinking community, right? I think we can all agree that we are trying and learning our best to do things differently than what we see often and what we are told often to do. So we think outside the box, I would say, a little more than others. That's sort of what brings this group of people together. Global wellness is a $4 trillion business, and it's only growing. Consumer demand for those things are only going to increase. Obesity has doubled in the last 30 plus years in America and across the globe. Our populations are experiencing more stress than ever, right? In a recent poll, I have a few sites here that we can quote and reference, but it says that 84% of the world's population is experiencing stress. I would say that's probably gone up to 100% in the last 2 years, right? For the way we've been seeing things develop across the globe. So let's get into enough about me, enough about what we're doing. We're here to hear Eunice touch upon why Arbonne, why now, why this is a smart business for everybody. And maybe you can share a little bit about what you've learned, how this has changed your life, how this has changed so many lives of people that you never knew, you would have never connected with. And my favorite part in speaking with you is just the smarts around this. You are a businesswoman at heart. You are a character. You have so much life in you. You sent me that picture last week on your transformation and how you are aging backwards. So without further ado, I give you the floor and welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. You know, that's one of the really nice things about this business, pause to you all, is that even at 72, you can still be relevant and still have something to say, and that people would listen and they would be on and give their precious time to, you know, to hear from somebody who's, this is not my first rodeo, folks. And so I'm always really happy to be able to pour into other folks. Arbonne was something that I discovered at 55 years old. I really wasn't looking for anything else. I'm a publisher and I publish largely academic work. And so I work with researchers and, you know, making sure the sites are right and, you know, all sorts of detailed kind of work. So it's, this was totally different than anything I had ever done. And, you know, I like good skincare and that sort of thing, but I don't know, I'm not a dermatologist or I'm not an esthetician. I'm not a, you know, I'm not a nutritionist or, you know, physical. I mean, I have none of that as credentialing. And, you know, I studied art and marketing and, you know, so this is totally out of my wheelhouse, but I saw the business model and I thought it was fascinating because at 55 years old, I've got children already. They're in college and I'm looking at that and thinking here, you know, I remember being a young bride starting out, and one of the most difficult things was money. You know, there was never enough of it. And, you know, your idea about what was a great expenditure may not have been your fellas. So, you know, anyway, so having a little extra pin money, you know, my Irish grandmother used to put it right inside her shirt on her bra, you know, that's where she carried her little pin money. And so with that spirit, you know, I thought, well, I'll just get some pin money. And, but wouldn't it be wonderful to show younger women, particularly, and men, how to add to their household incomes in their me time, you know, 10 to 15 hours a week. I thought, gee, and it's less than $100 to start a business. I've started businesses, you know, I have a 501c3, a charitable organization that I run. We produce prayer books for the military and things like that. So I've got plenty going on. And I was thinking, gee, this could be such a wonderful business model. And I loved the business model. So I'm going to tell you about 4 things that I was told when I began. And I, you know, began this business and I did it as hard as I could, as fast as I could, because I wanted to see if it worked. You know, they said you could make, you know, this kind of money. Well, I wanted to see if you really could do it. Well, you really could, because I really did. And that made me bolder about being able to say to someone, hey, you need to take a look at this. Like, don't talk back to me. You need to look at this. And because it, you know, I was bold about it because of that. So there are 4 B's, they told me. And I want to tell you about the first 2, because I'll tell you all 4. You have to have, in order to be a success in this business, a belief in the industry. You have to understand network marketing, because that's our business model. That's how we do what we do. It's not really direct sales. It's building people. Instead of making sales directly, you're making sales, no question, but you're building a network of people. And it's almost like having these little people out there, almost like stores, and they are working, building their businesses and individually, and you, for training and helping them, receive a little bit of, you know, 1% of 100 people instead of 100% of you. Well, the first B is understanding network marketing, which I set out to do. And then understanding your company. You know, what about Arbonne? And Kevin gave a great introduction about the company. What do we do? Who are we? How does that differ? How do we differentiate in the marketplace? Why are we special? Or why would someone take a look at us and our products? And then the third one was belief in the product. So understanding product. Many of us start by, you know, understanding product and recommending product, and that's what we talk about. Well, that's a means to what we do, but the business model is not product. Okay, it is the way it operates. And that was the fascination to me. And then the belief in yourself. So the 4 B's are belief in the industry, belief in the company, belief in the products, and belief in yourself. And I never had much trouble. At 55, you're kind of over it. It is what it is. You know, it's the good, bad, and the ugly. And you quit worrying about whether people like you. You don't care anymore. And it only gets worse. Trust me. I don't care at all. So if you like me, great. If you don't, it's okay too. Too bad. And I'm not changing. Okay, so that's all of it. And so you finally get confirmed in that, and you make yourself the best you can be. You become as well versed as you can be. But that belief in the industry for me was very, very important. And I understood that when I was younger, in the 80s, you know, when I was sort of beginning, network marketing was around, but it didn't have that great a reputation with the early boomers. You know, I'm not the tip top of the boomers, but I'm close to the top. And so I wasn't really, you know, network marketing was not something I thought, oh, brilliant. And there was a lot of resistance when I first began with Arbonne, because there were a lot of people that remembered network marketing as maybe not such a great thing to have and to be in. And now young people don't think a thing about it. But what we didn't recognize was, as we have gotten into the digital age, Zoom, social media platforms, Google, all these ways of communicating. You know, when we started, we were faxing in orders, we were calling in, you know, that's over. We're totally past that. And to witness that in 20 years, it'll be 20 years that I have been in this business in January of 2023. So I signed up on January 1st, 2004. So 2023, it was 03. So in 2023, whatever it is, it's almost 20 years. That's all I can remember. It's late. Anyway, so the point is, I put together a presentation, or my thoughts. For me to understand how to teach something or to present something, I have to write it down. And I sort it that way. You know, I've got to put it down, get it out of here on paper, and then I move it around and make it work. And then I get it, I have it, and then I can present it. You know, Rita Davenport, past president of Arbonne, used to say, if you want to teach something, or if you want to learn something, teach it, because you have to learn it to do that. And so the digital age has made network marketing a brand new business. The workscape, I call it like a landscape, it's the workscape, is shifting as the 20th century's industrial age, which is what I grew up in and prepared for, gives way to the 21st century's digital age. It's a whole nother thing. And I plumbed that very deeply. The change happens quickly. You go, you know, there's a great article about that's written about how quickly it was within a matter of less than 10 years, the digital age, or not the digital, excuse me, the agricultural age gave way to the industrial age, you know. And it's fascinating how quickly it happens. And it's happened quickly to get us into the digital economy. And most of us just think that, you know, gee, it's kind of the water we swim in. We don't think anything about it, but it is remarkably different. Okay. And what I mean by that is it's going to require different skill sets, particularly for us boomers, the older. If you were born before 1964, no, let's see. It was 1964, 1945 to 64 is the span. So if you're in that time frame, you're a boomer. And we were raised to be different, and you younger ones have an advantage digitally than we did. And so my granddaughter at 10 years old is my partner now, because she's sharper at this digital thing than I am. Anyway, the estimates are by 2040, that's 18 years from now, a staggering 95% of purchases will be online. Okay. And that's happening maybe even quicker, because we took 2 years and were forced into buying online at a discount with delivery to the door. And that is really significant. I don't think we recognize how quick that shift how powerful that situation was to usher us into this new way of doing. So in the years to come, if you're thinking about starting a business, don't start a storefront, get a warehouse and get an online presence. And then you will have people ordering online at a discount with delivery to the door. You won't be paying for that floor space. You'll be offering a discount so people will buy from you. Arbonne is already set up to do that. I mean, it is brilliant, really. And Group Rocher, the company that now owns Arbonne, is investing heavily in our internet presence as it decides within the next 2 years or so to begin to expand us globally into other countries. We're already in Australia, New Zealand, Poland, United Kingdom, Canada, United States, and Puerto Rico. And I think you're going to see things expand even further. We have catalogs in French, Spanish, and English, and obviously Polish. So it's an expanding business, not only in terms of numbers, but also real estate. But to be able to start a business at 18, when you only have to be 18 and you only have to have $49 to engage this, as Kevin said, a $4.4 trillion now market and the $4.5 trillion work from phone, not just home. You know, it's as now that we've gone through the last 20 or from 2020, we are now working from phone, not working from home. So anywhere there's a Wi-Fi connection, like in Panama, I can talk to you where you are, and we're connected. And you see my face, I see your face. It's not that long distance expense. When I was, when I was a kid, you couldn't have a long distance boyfriend because your dad would kill you because you were running up the long distance lines, And so love had to be local, trust me. Anyway, so it's going to be different. And I don't think we appreciate that, okay? Artificial intelligence. There are 2 books that I would recommend that you take a look at. One is Ray Kurzweil, who is the futurist at Amazon. I think it's Amazon. No, he's at Google. And his book is called The Singularity is Near. And he says by 2030, certainly by 2050, in that 20 years, you're going to see the computers overtake human capacity and human intelligence. Then there's another book called Life After Google, written by George Gilder, who says that ain't going to happen. Ray's wrong about that. And let me tell you why. And here's the advent of blockchain. You need to understand that. And so there's all these things that are now being fomented. So if you want to kind of spend your time and understand, and you may not, in order to do Arbonne, you don't have to understand these first 2 Bs, the industry and our circumstance, or the company, really. You can just present product. And by doing that, gathering a confidence in yourself and presenting products, and learn this as you go, but don't not learn this. Because what happened for me is that I became bolder, more confident, because I understood that this business model was really a business whose time has come. It's a brand new business, an old brand new business all again. And I think that you'll meet people who do think and track this way. And what I'm saying is, don't just focus, sure, try the product. I want you to use the product. I have tremendous confidence in the product. Okay, that's a given for me. But I also want you to understand that you could invest your time. You could invest your life. I think the most intimate the most intimate relationship you can have outside of a marriage is a partnership in business, because you're making a life together, a living together. Okay, so when I ask someone to join my team or to consider this, I want them to know this is not just a frolic and detour. I'm seriously committed to this business because it works. And it's an idea whose time has come. It's something that they can invest in. And I've spent 20 years in it. They can definitely spend another 20. We've got another 20 for sure in this business. I think you're going to see it only become more and more powerful as we get to that 2050 mark, when there are robots, automation, and they say that these 21st century gadgets are slated to overtake 1/3 of our jobs by 2030. Yes, they're going to be. And so working online, or, working online, selling products at a discount with delivery to the door. Jeff Bezos is a much richer man after 2020, I can assure you, because we all bought online at a discount with delivery to the door. So all the marketplace understands how to do this. When you say, oh, you can go online, or your preferred client, or whatever, people already, they get it. They've done that. They buy groceries. I mean, they buy groceries. My father would never believe that. Buying groceries and charging them on a credit card, he would never believe that. Of course, you pay the credit card off. But the point is, it's kind of, really unusual, because you would go in and you write a check and they'd say, do you want $25 more or something? So you had a little cash, all that's going away. It's very, very interesting. So there are smart machines coming, all sorts of things. And there is this shift, again, it's not going to be over years. It's happening over years, not centuries. Okay. The world didn't change for centuries, millennia. We were dependent on agriculture and all that. And then we get to the industrial age. Now we're into the digital age, and the changes are going to be kaleidoscopically fast. Okay. They think 70 to 80% estimates are of jobs will disappear in the next 20 years. Do you see, if you go to someone and present this as a business that they need to take a look at, you may be giving them the tools to learn how to operate in the digital economy. And for $49, I'm very high on talking to young people who are paying in a college to learn how to do business. And I'm saying, hey, kid, for $49, I'll put you in a business and it'll pay you. And after 4 years, I bet you could have an income and a company car if you'll put your mind to it and put the 10 to 15 hours a week into it, solid, calling and seeing people, get to be disciplined, learn how to do business, how to make a presentation, how to meet a deadline, all of those things. They go to college, they don't know how to work. They all come out, they're going to lead and head up GM. Is that even around still? And the point is, they're not ready for any of that. This gives them the tools, the on-the-job training tools. Mike Rowe and I I think he's absolutely right. People need to learn how to work. And this is a perfect way to do that and master the digital economy. I am blessed to already be on top of this, even at my age. I'm kind of excited about it. I sort of get how to talk to you all from Panama, and I sort of get how to do all of these things. And I'm thrilled about that. And I want the kids to know. I want them to have a proper education in this world. So, I don't hesitate. I don't always talk to the kids. I go to the mom or the dad and say, what's he doing? What are they going to do? Oh, he's going to, and you're like, right. He's going to be broke and he'll be in debt. And so great, So let me tell you how we could come out of school without you're spending out your savings or them going into debt. Okay. What if we could do all that? And let's talk business, this is not just, it's much more than going to college. Dieter Zaychi, who is the former head of Mercedes-Benz, says that if you have an idea of what might be a good business in the 21st century, and if you've got an idea, you better get after it, because somebody's already thinking about it, just so you know. And if it doesn't work on a smartphone, it's never going to fly. Okay, so these are really not phones only. These are computers, and they're powerful networking, work from anywhere in the world computers. We call them phones, which is really, if I were this, I'd be insulted, because it's so much more than a phone. It's absolutely a way for you to communicate across the world, to calculate, to make presentations, to send information. It's a communication tool, all in your hand. It's really wonderful. So I say, if you would like to go into business, you have the keys to the kingdom in that phone. You already have one. Just start monetizing it. Take those friends and you have to tell kids how to talk to, or anyone. I hope I don't go over too far. I tell people, we're friends or we're acquaintances. Most people are acquaintances. How many friends can you afford? They're a lot of work. So you have a hat and it's called friend. And so you say, hey, can I take off my friend hat for a second and put on my business hat? Can we talk business just for 5 or 10 minutes? I just want to tell you about this. And then I'll take off my business hat, no pressure, and put back on friends, and we'll go back to having, just our discussion. I ask permission to do that. And I usually get them, usually say yes, because they hate to tell you no to your face. So you get your opportunity to make your pitch. So make sure it's good and refine it. Do it over and over and over again. And that's the only way you get good at it. Don't stay in your head about it. Just make your presentation. Say, this is what's great about this. Listen long enough to know which things to highlight in your, because you've got a whole toolbox of Arbonne possible discussion points that would make a meaningful impression on someone. Just make sure you pick the ones that are most meaningful. And my toolbox is full, and it's particularly full of this. I'm looking for young people, particularly who are going to college. I don't want them to come out with a debt. A Princeton debt 7 years ago was 200 grand for 4 years. $200,000. I mean, okay, great. That is a debt that is staggering, that many young people can't appreciate. Now, does everybody go to Princeton? No, but there's still, state schools are pretty expensive. I think that's kind of obscene. I'd like them to come out with a car and an income and not have to take the first whatever kind of job that comes along. That's my mission. Number 2 is I'm talking to people who are my age, who are in their 60s. There's a guy, Paul Tasner, Tasner. He's on YouTube, and he's How I Became an Entrepreneur at 66. He walked in one day, been with a company for 30, 40 years. And they said, Paul, this is your last week. You're done on Friday. I think they told him Friday, we won't see you Monday. I mean, and that's happening a lot. Okay, just so you know. So he retooled himself to be able to start a business, an entrepreneurial business, which was really pretty cool. And he says, as the industrial age fades into the digital future, many older, more experienced people will strike out on their own. They might as well start an Arbonne business. This is paint by numbers. The good news is this massive aging population has a 70% chance of success as an entrepreneur, compared to 28% chance for younger entrepreneurs. So when I'm talking to a younger person, it's a mercy, trust me, because they're a lot of work. An apprentice is a lot of work. Love you, but you're a lot of work. Old people totally get it. They know what it is to work. You get up, you get going. If it's to be, it's up to me. And they've made a life of that. They've had kids. Kids fix you forever. You're never going to be the same again. It's 180 degrees, just like that. One day it's all about you. The next day it's never going to be about you again. And that's good, because it makes you better. Okay. So I'm looking for people who are a little older. They're easier. I love when they have had kids. Grandchildren are great. I love it if they've been turned out and, made kind of nothing. They're not really helpful anymore because they're too old, or if they're younger. And I'm talking to their parents because the parent understands what that means. And I want to talk business with them. I don't, I'm really hopeful they're going to use the cream, or the protein powder. It's great stuff. And I can talk about that. But what I want you to do is to take a look at this, take a look at it as it is something you should consider devoting your time to, because I'm just going to show you something as intimate as it can be. We could make a living together. I'll help you, you'll help me, and I expect you to get as much out of it as I'm going to. In other words, it's got to be a win-win, and I know that this is. Okay, so those things are very important. Yes, these young kids don't have any idea, but they will be competing with robots. Okay, no question about that. And that is not something. Jack Ma is Jeff Bezos in China. We haven't seen him for a while. Wonder what's going on with that. But anyway, he started Alibaba, all right, which is a buy online discount delivered to the door in Asia. And he's a fabulously wealthy guy. And he's very high on digital marketing. And he says the kids are going to school today and do not understand. They are not being taught how to operate in this arena. And this business is a way for you to earn your spurs and to learn how to do that and get paid while you're doing it. Okay. So I paint that picture for people and say, hey, everybody's going to need more than one, or to earn more than one income. I mean, mom went to the office. Dad always worked outside. Well, dad left the farm. If you want to know the history, dad left the farm and then went out and got a real job at a factory somewhere. Then mom left. Okay. And now they're maybe working two jobs. They're the need to earn. So I've got an income potential for them to earn that would allow them in 10 to 15 hours a week, the Netflix time, to actually make some money, okay, calling and seeing people. And I think that is really pretty powerful. I believe that the income, when they told me what the income potential was in this, that there were 4 levels, I was already thinking about how quick I was going to get to the top, what I was going to do it as fast as it was possible to do it, and or as fast as I could do it. And it was a competition with me. It wasn't in view of anybody else. And I knew that when they said that an average national vice president could earn $22,000 a month, I thought, okay, that would catch your attention, particularly if you're a kid. And if you are a retiree, I spend my husband passed away it'll be 2 years in July. Well, you spend a year in the grand funk, you're just, And so now I'm kind of coming back, trying to put a new pattern together, because you have to do that because half of you is gone. So you got to put that back together. So that's the challenge. Well, I bought this RV, a camper, and it's a white Mercedes-Benz. And it's got a shower, a double bed. It's got my towels, my sheets. I even bought Oriental rugs for it. It's so tricked out. Got the sound system. I mean, I am rocking. Okay. So anyway, yeah. And so that Arbonne pays for that RV. Now I have, when I started Arbonne, I had a Benz. It was black, but I'll buy white if they'll pay for it. And so I have a white Mercedes-Benz RV. And so I take that around. So I want retirees to understand there is life after work. There is life as a widow or a widower. There's an income that you don't have to go around thinking, oh, whatever the Social Security is. I mean, who wants to live like that? So because that doesn't buy your shoes. Just let me help you with that. So you get your little Arbonne income. And, I'm not climbing every mountain, forging every stream, climbing every rainbow or whatever. I'm not doing that anymore. I've already done that, been there, got all the shirts. I am simply living life and enjoying it. And Arbonne folds into my life in a very, very lovely way. I use the tax advantages. I write off everything that is write-offable, because I live my business. You finally get to a place in life where you understand what the tax law is and how to use. My husband was a lawyer. He said, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money can you keep. And the person with their hand in your back pocket is Uncle Sam, trust me. So you do want to be fair. Tax evasion is a crime. Tax avoidance is a patriotic. So I think it's very important to understand business, understand this business, to recruit people, to show them, cast a vision for them with this industry, network marketing. Don't be weenie about it at all. It is a credible business, and really it is a business whose time has come. I tell everybody that. And this company is solid. This is the 3rd generation for the Rochers. It's family owned. They are absolutely on the same page as Arbonne was in the beginning. So it's a perfect marriage. So I'm asking people to marry their lives into this Arbonne business, whether they're young or older, or even midlife. There are plenty of expenses in those sandwich years with college and elderly parents and all that sort of thing. The expenses are really, really nonstop. And here's the inside skinny. With when my husband came, when he was diagnosed with traumatic brain injury from Vietnam, and I didn't know that at the end of life that traumatic brain injury could bring not only Alzheimer's, but ALS and Lewy body dementia. He had all three. And that could have depleted. I took care of him, and to take care of him in Kentucky is anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000 a month. Okay, just deduct that from whatever you got going on right now, okay? And you can get into your seed corn, your savings, pretty quick. So when I started this business 20 years ago, I had no thought at 55 that I would ever be 72, that I would ever look like this, you know, or that my husband would have this, you know, this terrible, terrible situation, battle related. And of course, I got no help from anywhere. Don't even go there. It was up to me, but I was ready. Being ready, you know, I was married to a Marine. If they're not ready, then something's wrong, you know? So they not only are ready, they got on the back shelf what needs to come next. It's already been thought through. We don't even have to go there. You don't have to worry about that. So I am challenging people to take a look at this business, knowing that life has many challenges. And you've seen some of them. You may not even have seen, but you may not have seen what's yet to come. So I invite you to use this business to be ready, whether you're a college student, whether you are and preparing for life at anything, or whether you are midlife and later life. This business fits and can wrap around your life and your world to enhance it, and without dragging you down. It's like, oh, I got to go to work. No. I get to go to work. I get to talk to people and offer them hope. And for me to be relevant, to be able to speak to you tonight, to be, you know, able to capture your attention or hold your attention. Has anybody blimped off yet? And to, you know, is just was such a soul-filling thing for me to do. So I thank you for inviting me. I can recommend this business to you. I recommend that you look at the business model or the industry and this company that we're owned by, and talk about that to people who do understand business and do want to invest their time in something that will produce a benefit, not only for them, but also their loved ones. You know, I have willed my business, which is of course possible at the second level in Arbonne. I've willed this business to my grandchildren. Skip the kids, the grands, that's what you want. So my grandchildren, I have a trust for them, and my work will go on after me. And I'm big about that. Be prepared and leave something. Leave it better than you found it. And Arbonne has made that possible for me, and to love a lot of people along the way. So thank you, Kevin and Nikki, for having me. And it's truly my pleasure.
Thank you so much, Eunice. That was amazing. I appreciate it. So many wonderful ideas, points, thoughts, feelings, emotions. I mean, you tell it like it is. There's no BS. There's no sugarcoating it. It's well thought through. It's well planned, and it's all things in life that are relative to everything that we're going to face, we're going to see, we're going to do, what we're going to be, where life is headed. So thank you so much for tuning in and pouring into us, and just you know, we love your brain, we love your heart, and the two of those go hand in hand. So thank you so much.
Thank you, dear.
We're going to stay on and do a little team recap, but I will be in touch, and God bless you. Safe travels, and we'll see you very, very soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eunice.
Thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
That was something, huh?
Amazing.
I upgraded so we didn't get cut off at the
I
time
saw
zone
that.
in professional Zoom land. So she
Quick
went
thinking.
a quick
It's
15
incredible, Kevin. That was incredible that you did it so
Yes.
fast.
Oh,
Yes.
they have a little upgrade button, and it's like your meeting's about to end. I just went in, credit card by memory that I have, and month to month, so you can always cancel it. But we needed that on recording. Whoo.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, she covered everything. I have nothing left, but we will do some recognitions for our team, for the people. We have a lot of people that jumped on, so thank you for joining us. So I'll jump right into DM qualification. Kathy, you have Victoria Ullman, and Nicolina, you have Alondra Lopez, and Amanda Shirk. I had Jamie Walsh, Danielle Spring, also Nicolina's sister, and personal bricks for, what do we say? It's 2,000 or more now we're doing for personal business. Kathy DePaula, Joanna Grabowska, congratulations. Nicolina, myself, and Paula Quinn. So congratulations to everybody on your bricks and on your qualifications. Do we have any announcements or anything coming up? We're going to do this meeting again. Obviously, the first Monday of the month is going to be, Kath, is that you next? Kathy is leading next. So we're doing, each person gets a guest and is in charge of that meeting. So this was my week. So thank you for, we had that rock star, which, I mean, left us all speechless, I think, and fired up about all things, the Arbonne, the 4 Bs, right? And we're a B Corp. And that's it. Any in-persons that we're doing coming up? I know we didn't really chat before this, so sorry for mid-meeting recap, but anything you guys want to add in that I'm missing? Go for it, Kath.
Just that we are tentatively pairing with Donna Bradley, ENVP, somewhere in the probably Montville Marriott, sometime in March, and we'll get you guys that date once we know she wants to come up to North Jersey. So we're excited for that.
Okay, cool. That's great.
And also just that I think we all know by now that the Fun Sun line is out and there's the bundle, comes with that bag. That is the benefit of ordering the bundle, is that bag. If you don't care about the bag, you can order a la carte and you'll get the same pricing.
Okay. Awesome. Sunscreen, pineapple fizz, the vitamin D and K spray, is it in there?
Tanning.
And
Self-tanning.
Gelé,
Yeah, self-tanning too. So all good stuff to look forward to. Anybody else? Nick, you good? Jeanette, anything to add? Everyone's good. Well, that was a great Monday to start the month off. And I will have this recorded. I will upload it and get the link out to you guys on all the chats so we can share her with the world. She's amazing. So
Yes.
use that to your advantage. Like she said, send it to your friends, family, coworkers, listen to it in the car. I mean, she just goes and goes and goes. She's full of energy. So she's a fun one to listen to.
Sure is.
Well, thank you, everybody. Great to see everyone.
Thank you,
Great-
Kevin.
Have a great
Thank you,
week, and
Kevin.
we'll see you soon.
Great weekend. Can't wait to see you all in person.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
It was great.
Good night.
don't forget to stop the recording.